Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alaihi wasallam wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wasallam. Now, today we are looking at al-istisna, which means exception. If you recall last week that we treated al-istisna, exception, we introduced the topic. So, and we let us know that when we are talking about istisna, when we look at our sentence, istisna is just when there is a general event, but there's an exception. So the exception is what we term as what? Al-istisna. So when we have a sentence, for instance, so we have made an exception in that sentence. So such will be called istisna. Now, for instance, look at this statement: Jalasatul labu illa zaidan. The student sat except Zaid. So this is an exception. So when we have a statement like this, we have our terms which we like what was told us we were told last week. We have the tulab. This is the general group of all of an event. Those who perform the event, all the entities. So we call that mustasna minhu. You get. So if we now have also somebody who deviated from the general event, who did not perform the event with them, or who deviated from the general event we are considering, we call that what mustasna, and that is the most important thing we are looking at today. We also have what is the tool that was used for the exemption. So the tool here is what? Illa. So all the students are except Zaid. So this is illa is what is used for the exemption. So we call that adatu istisna. So for any statement you have, these are what we always consider. And the most important thing we will look at is what? This mustasna. Because the situation of adatu istisna and mustasna minhu always determine what? Always determine the grammatical analysis of our what? Of our mustasna. Meaning that, is our mustasna going to take nasbu? Is it going to take jarri? Is it going to take rafun? So these are some of those things that decide it. So you can see some of those are that to the istisna. Tools for exception. We have goil, we have siwa, we have kola, we have hasha. We also have hasha. We also have what? We have ada. And these at times can also more can be added, like more kola, more ada can be added to this. Do we guess now? So we have type of kalam, which we have been told last week that kalam muthbat wa mustasna minhu madhkur. The situation can be like that. Al-kalamu mufijun wal mustasna minhu madhkur. Also have al-kalamu mufijun wal mustasna minhu mahdhuf. So those are the basic states of our sentence. So this basic state of our statement with the mustasna minhu and the adatu istisna, they always determine the grammatical analysis of what? Of our mustasna. Because on the general notes, our statements are what? They go normally with the enrob you have known before, the grammatical analysis, except what? The mustasna. That always depends on the mustasna minhu. It always depends on the words adatu istisna, and it always also depends on the words of the states of the sentence. So now today, what we want to look at is what? Hukmul mustasna bإلا. That means the ruling of mustasna when you are using what? Illa. You are using the exception, the adatu istisna you want to use is what? Illa. When you use illa. So we look at it in three ways. The first situation is al-kalamu muthbatun wal mustasna minhu madhkur. When your sentence is what? Is muthbat. What do you mean by muthbat? That means the sentence is not starting with a negation. So a muthbat sentence is a sentence that is not what? Starting with a negation. For example, I say Jalasa Zaidun. There's no negation there. Zaid sat. Do you get? So that is that. So like look at this statement. Jalasa tulabu illa Zaidan. Zaid too is among the students. Do we get now? So all the students sat except Zaid. So when we have a situation like this, that our kalam is musbat and our mustasna minhu is madhkur. This is the one we use the red color to indicate. That's your mustasna minhu. It's mentioned because it's also possible it can be what? It can be erased. So the mustasna minhu is madhkur So they said our mustasna, don't forget, our mustasna, this what the one who deviate from the general group will be what? Will be always nasbu. So that's why, because the aslo of what of our mustasna is what? It should take what? Nasbu. So that's why we are having what here Zaydan. Because it is a what? It's a mustasna minhu. So let me repeat again. When our kalam is muthbat, that means it's not starting with a negation, it's a clear statement. While mustasna minhu madhkur, and our mustasna minhu is also mentioned. This is mentioned. That means our mustasna, which is this, will be in what? In nasbu states. If it's not in nasbu state, that's a grammatical mistake. For instance, let's look at another example. I said, Godiba. Look at this statement. Godiba what mother? Godiba Jiya'un. That means the hungry, those are hungry. Jiya'un is the block of Ja'un. You guess. So I said Godiba Jiya'un. All those that are hungry, Godiba, they became angry. No, they will say an angry man is an angry man. So the hungry people, Godiba, they got angry. And I put here illa. Illa is not here. And I said illa, except one of them that is not hungry. If anything I will write here must take what? A nasbu. For instance, I said illa wa. What will it be? Wahidan. It must take a nasbu. Please hope you are following. Because this is a what? A kalam that is musbat. And our mustasna minhu, which is yahu here, is what? Madhkur. So let's continue. We have another statement. We have another situation. Al-kalamu manfiyun. When your sentence is what? Manfiyun. Is being negated. Is starting with a negation. Wal mustasna minhu madhkur. And your mustasna minhu is what? Is also mentioned. Do you guess now? Look at this now. It's starting with more and nafia. More jalasatul labu. The student did not sit. Illa Zaydan, except Zayd, which means that the student did not sit, except Zayd, it's Zayd that sat. Do you guess now? So you can see that two options is written here. It can be Zaydan or what? Zaydun. Why is it so? Because your kalam is manfiyu and your mustasna minhu is madhkur. Do you guess? So when we have our kalam that is manfiyu and our mustasna minhu is also mentioned, you have two options. Your mustasna can be nasbu, claiming that every mustasna is always what? Taking nasbu, like what happened here. And your mustasna minhu can be what? Can take what your mustasna minhu is taking. Because your mustasna minhu here now is taking what? Is taking a raw form. So that's why this Zaydun too will take a raw form. Do you guess now? For instance, I say ma darabtu. Look at this statement now. Ma darabtu atulaba. I did not beat the students. Do you guess now? Illa. So, for instance, the student that did not beat among them, his name is Ali. So I will put Illa Maza, Illa Ali Jan here. Can we see? Or if I don't want to use Illa Ali Jan, what can I use again? It's still what? Illa Ali Jan. The first one, why is it Ali? Because the aspect of mustasna is to take a nasbu. Why is the second one also taking? Why is Ali in? If we have a second option, why is it taking nasbu? Because your mustasna minhu is also taking a nasbu. So that's why this one too is taking a nasbu. Do we get now? Or when I say ma marartu, let me even use lam. Lam amurra. Lam amurra. Lam amurra be to lab. I put to lab here now. Be to lab. Illa. Let's say the same Aliyan. The same Ali. So it can be what? Aliyan like this. Claiming that it's a mustasna minhu. And it can also be what? What is to lab taking? It's taking a kesra. So it can also be what? Aliyin. Why? Because our kalam is what? Our kalam is manfiju and our mustasna minhu is what? Madhkur. So like here now, look at this lam. Lam is a what? Is a nafia like more. So lam with a fi'l mudari become lam amuru. I did not pass by the students illa alijan except Ali, illa alijin except Ali. This can come in two ways. So this one is taking nasbu because it's a mustasna. This one is taking nasbu because what? It follows, it can follow the mustasna minu in Europe. So when we have a kalam that is monfiyu, our mustasna minu is also madhkur, is mentioned, we can have two options. The first option is what? Is for it to take nasbu. The second is what? Is to follow the Europe of our what? Mustasna minu. Please are following. Let's look at the third situation. Al-kalamu manfiyun wal mustasna minhu mahzuf. Al-kalamu manfiyu. Our statement, our sentence is negated. Now, in this situation now, the mustasna minhu is now what? The mustasna minhu is mahzuf. Look at, we have been using jalasa to lab illa zaidan. Here, to lab is mentioned. When we now got here, to lab is conspicuously missing. We can't find it. So, what will now be the situation of our mustasna minhu? It will take what? What's supposed to be here that is what? That is erased. What that is supposed to take? The entity you erase here, that is what the Europe is supposed to have. That's what we are going to transfer to your what? Mustasna. For instance, look at tulab now. Tulab have been taken off from. So, for instance, jalasa. You know this more jalasa tulab. Tulab here is a fine, and fine will take a rough one. So it is now what? It's deleted. So that is what the what mustasna to will also take. It will take that rough one. Now you see, let's look at this example here now. For instance, Godiba lijiyahum illa wahidan. If I put more here, it will be more Godiba lijiyahum illa wahidan. If I clean this one, it will work. More Godiba illa wahidun, because this is the rough one. If I clean it, and if I clean this, and we are starting with the negation. Look at this now. More dorotu to lava. Look at this statement. More dorotu to lava illa alina. Let's say, for instance, this is now not there. I remove this. What will the statement mean? More dorotu. Abi, let's follow. More dorotu illa alijan. More dorotu illa alijan. What will I say? Because this one is taking a what? What is clean here is taking a nasbu, so it will be more dorotu illa alijan. So the third situation is that what? Anything that is not written here, that your mustasna meaning that is clean, the Europe is supposed to take. That is what the mustasna will take. So this one too, lam amurra bitul lab illa aliyan. And I said lam amurra. Do you get? I say lam amurra, and I clean this island illa. It will be what? Alijan. Do you guess now? Because once you clean here, it's supposed to take a jarring. Do you understand? So that is how it will go. So it will be lam amurra illa bi alijan. So because that is what your mahzuf, which is your mustasna minhu, that is mahzuf. Whenever it's clean, the i'rab is supposed to take, you transfer it to your what? To your mustasna. I think we have done something. So you can use another way, another simple way. When you have a situation like this, when your kalam is manfiyu and your mustasna minhu is mahzuf, there's also another way you can use. The way it is very simple. You know, you have this, you have your mo and you have your illa. What can you just do? You can what? You can say that the ma negates the illa. That's another simple way you can use. So what is remaining for you to read? You can't do what I did here. You can't do it in this situation. In this third situation, when the kalam is manfiyu and your mustasna minhu is mahzuf, your statement is negated and your mustasna minhu is mahzuf. You can use this method also. So the more will cancel out the illa. So what will remain? Jalasa zaidun. Of course, your zaid will take rafun because it's now fine. So let's try it here too. So the more cancel the illa here. So what will be read with what? Dorobtu alijan, because Dorobtu I beat. Who did I beat? Anybody I beat must take nasbu. So it will be what? Dorobtu alijan. You can try it here too. This will clean this. I mean, it will be what? Amuru Amuru bi alijin. Very, very simple. So that is the second method you can use. We call it the Ujuru method. You can use that Ujuru method to denote if when you're in a situation like your kalam is confused and your mustasna minhu is what? Mahzuf. You can use this type too. So that is the basic listing under what? Mustasna, mustasna bإلا. So quickly, let us look at our textbook. Let us look at our textbook to check that. I'm going to I need to clean some parts of the board. So sorry. So if you want to watch that, you can just rewind the video. So let us look at some examples from the book. That is our Kitabul Muqarrar. That is our Nahw Class. So this is the book Nahw Class. With the one with me, it is page 256. For it depends on the page. Just follow the topic if you want to check it from your own book. So hukmu mustasna bإلا. Let's start with the qaida. It says, and I quote, إذا كان المستثنى منه مذكور. If your mustasna minhu is madhkur, وكان الكلام مثبتا, and your kalam is musbat, something like this. So wajab an-nasbu al-mustasna bi-illa. Wajab an-nasbu. Then the mustasna bi-illa that you are using illa to do your mustasna. Wajab an-nasbu, you must take a nasbu. You will understand. So that's why I said wajaba nasbu al-mustasna. You must give the mustasna a nasbu. Bi-illa, if you are using illa for your words, adatul istisna. Let's move on. So إذا كان المستثنى منه مذكورا. If your mustasna minhu is what? Madhkur, is mentioned. So let's continue. وكان الكلام منفيا. And your kalam is what? Is manfiyu. That means it's negated. So that is that. Jaza. When they say jaza, when you are giving noun rule, when you add the word jaza, that means you have more than one option. So say jaza fil mustasna bi-illa and yunsab ala istisna. So your mustasna bi-illa can take nasbu on the claim that it is what? A mustasna. It is the aspect of all mustasna is that it should take nasbu. That's the normal aspect. The basic rule is that it should take a nasbu. Wa an yatba al mustasna minhu fi ghabi, or it can follow the mustasna minhu in ghabi. It's taking doma, it's also taking what? It's taking rafun, it's also taking rafun with it. Don't mind that this one is one doma, this one is two doma. It does not mean they are both rafun states. So to labu zaidun. That's why that's the second option there. Now next, said إذا كان المستثنى منه محذوفا. If your mustasna minhu is not mahzuf, you can see the tulab we have been using here is not mahzuf in the third sentence. You can't see tulab here. Now, riba mustasna ala hasbi ma yaqtadi mawdi'uhu fi tarkib. So it's your mustasna will be what? Will be the grammatical state will what? Will depend on what is supposed to take. That means your mustasna minhu is supposed to take. Kama law kanat illa ghayra mawjuda. As if that's what it is now what is mentioned. Like for instance, what should be here is supposed to take a rafun, you get. So that means that is what this zaid, which is the mustasna, will now take. So that is what they are trying to explain to us there. So let's look at their example. Said asmaratil ashjaru illa shajaratan. All the trees what? They produce fruits. Athmara, from thamar, athmara. They produce fruits illa shajaratan, except a what? A tree. So that is a what? A kalam that is muthbat. And your mustasna minhu, which is asjar, is what is mentioned. So that means shajaratan, that's the only option there. Another example says tawal hamamu illa wahida. All the pigeons flew. They what? They flew illa wahidatan, except one of them that did not fly with them. No, the singular is hamamatun, the plural is hamam. You remove the ta'um because it's ismu jinsil jamu. So you get illa wahidatan, except one. So that's also a kalam that is musbat and your mustasna minhu is madhkur. So farra li junudu illa al-qaida. All the junud, all the soldiers ran away except the what? The commander is one that did not run. It's not wrong with them. So the either will take a fatia because the one that deviated from the group. Do we get? Now look at the next one. Now lam is starting with a lam. That means it is this type. Lam, because lam always go with fi'l al-mudari. When you mention lam, you can't use fi'l al-mudari with it. Do you get? So it said lam tatafattah al-azharu. You know why it is taking atafattah is taking a guess, or it's called sakinin. So all the azhar, all the flowers did not blossom illa banafsa, except the violet what flower is the only one that blossomed. So it can be lam tatafattah al-azharu illa banafsaja, or it can be what lam tatafattah al-azharu illa banafsaju, because what he's taking fatia banafsaja because it's a mustasna. The aspect of mustasna is to take fatia. He's taking domo. Why? Because azharu too is taking domo. Your what's it called? Your mustasna minu is taking the domo. So that's why it is now also that one too is banafsaju. Let's look at another example. Say lam yamjul mustahimun illa ahmad. Yamju is from noja. Noja is what? Is to be safe, to survive something. Mudor is what? Yenju. You get now? Yenju. Now when lam comes in, lam it will affect affect this. So what will you have? Lam yenju. This one will be clean away. So we have lam yenju. So said lam yenjul mustahimun. All the words mustahimun are those who went to take a bath. So let's use swimmers for them. So all the swimmers did not they did not survive. Illa Ahmad, except Ahmad. That means all of them died. It was only Ahmad that survived, that was rescued. So it can be Illa Ahmada because it's a mustasna, or it can be Illa Ahmadu because mustahimun is taking rafun. He's taking rafun with a wa. Don't get that place. You can see mustahimun is taking rafun. The alamatu rafun there is what? Is the wow, because it's jamu muzakkar salim. So it's taking a rafun. So that's why it can also be what? Ahmadu. So it can be Ahmadu that is following this in Europe, and it can be Ahmada because it's what? The aspect of a mustasna is to take a fatia. Don't forget, you are treating something of this nature there. So the next one, he said, Ma sallamtu ala al-qadimin illa al-awwala. So our qadimin is our mustasna minhu. Al-awwal is our what? Is our mustasna. So and this is a what? A kalam that is what? Monfiyu, and our mustasna minhu is what? Madhkur. So he said, Ma sallamtu ala al-qadimin. I did not do taslim. I did not greet the words, those who arrived, like the visitors. Illa awwal, except the first one among them. So look at that. So it can be Ma sallamtu ala al-qadimin illa al-awwala, or what? Ma sallamtu ala al-qadimin. Can see qadimin is taking jarri now. So illa what? Illa al-awwali. Those are any of the two options. So that is that. The next one said la use the nasihata. Now if you look at this statement now, the nasiha is taking a fatia. La use the nasihata. So what is, if you look at this use the now, you will see that something is missing, because you have seen a verb who now perform the verb is missing there. So that means it is a type of is of this type. That means a kalam that is monfiyu, and your mustasna minhu is what? Mahzuf is not mentioned. So we can do take there and say la use the ahadun and nasihata. Nobody listen to what? To admonition. Illa al-mukhlisun, except those that are sincere. Do you guess now? So our mustasna minhu is what? Mahzuf. The mustasna minhu that is mahzuf is supposed to be what? A fa'il. The person that owns the what? The use the. That verb use the person who own it, who perform it, is missing. So that means a fa'il. And what we find always take rafun. So that means what is there is that we're supposed to take it rafun is missing. Now our mustasna is now mentioned, which is the mukhlisun. So that is why it can only be what? Mukhlisun. Do you get? Let's try the second method we mentioned. Let's clean the la and the illa. What we mean? Use the nasihata al mukhlisuna. The fa'il mukhlisun. I hope we get that. So that is what we are trying to explain there. So la yusdin nasihata illa al-mukhlisin. Nobody listen to admonition except the what? The sincere ones. From asda yusdi. So that is that. Next one. Must or have to. I did not make friend with. I did not take as friend. I did not befriend. Now, look at that statement. Must or have to. I did not befriend. So that means the file is there, which is the two. Where is now the maf'ul will be? You can see that it is missing. And what your maf'ul will be, we take is what? It not good. So now I said illa al akhyar, except the what? The good ones. And when you read, so that's why the akhyar will take a fatha, because it's maf'ul will be. So you can try the second method. Let the mon negate the illa. What do you have? So have to akhyara, akhyara. I make friends with the good people. I make friends with the good ones. So, you know, it's like saying I did not eat any food except eba. What does that mean? It means I ate eba. So that's what we are trying to say. So that's why this can negate it. More jalasa illa zaydun. It's like saying what? Jalasa zaydun. So do you get now? So the last one. La tesudu shu'ub. The nation will not move up, will not progress, will not reign over other nations. Illa bil akhlaq, except with what? With good characters. So that means what there's la tesudu shu'ubu bi shay'in. That's what is missing. La tesudu shu'ubu bi shay'in illa bil akhlaq. So that is what we are taking under what? Mustasna bإلا. So let's try to also practice a lesson note to be sent to us. Let's try to check the comment section of this live class, or you can check our Telegram page. When you check the two, you see lesson notes that will also guide you on what you have treated. We pray Allah accept it from us as an act of ibadah. Try to make your own statement too. There are work practices there at the back of the test. We try to solve it. So inshallah we move to another tool. If we are not using illa, there are some other tools we can use that will be explained inshallah in the next class. May Allah take it from us as an act of ibadah. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.